Good afternoon. Thank you all for trying to withstand this little bit of weather that we're having here. It's an honor for us to be invited to the city of Middletown on this special day, a day that we honor the many fallen service members of the great state that have sacrificed their comfort, their time, their lives. Today we're here to honor the sacrifice of not just one young man from Connecticut, but all who gave their lives. When terror took a grip on our lives in 2001, a new generation answered the call. Like the generations before them, many young men and women left their homes, their families, to defend the ideals and freedoms that make the United States the greatest country in the world. Today we're honoring this generation and those who went before them, those who stood up to fight for the same ideals and freedoms. We're honored to have some of these families of our heroes here with us today. Run for the Fallen is typically an event that honors the men and women who have sacrificed their lives since the war on terror began, those who have been killed in action. Today, we will include many others in that honor. Today, we will include those who have given their lives in Vietnam, those who, while serving in our military, were killed, prepared to put their lives on the line at a moment's notice. We have included them in today's program because their lives held no less value than those who fought and died. Honor and Remember is a national nonprofit organization that is dedicated to perpetually honoring the sacrifice of our fallen. Normally at this point, I would tell you about the history of Honor and Remember and the meaning of the Honor and Remember flag. Today I don't have to do that because I'm pleased to have George Lutz, the founder of Honor and Remember, here with us in Connecticut and for a short visit, and I'm hoping that we can ask him to take over those duties for us. Ladies and gentlemen, George Lutz.
Thank you, Cliff, and Run for the Fallen Connecticut for an opportunity to be here with you all today to honor so many that have given so much and the families they represent. And thank God the skies have cleared for a few moments. But I'm only going to take just a couple of minutes to explain and pass it back on to Rob. On December 29th of 2005, two uniformed officers came to my front door and delivered just 5 very simple words. We regret to inform you that my son had been killed that day before in Fallujah, Iraq. That notification has happened time and time again. And those families who have heard that knock and have received those words started a journey of devastation that they never imagined could happen to them. And on May 28th of 2008, 3 years later, I believe that what we needed in this country was a symbol that specifically recognizes those lives that were given and those families that remain grieving behind. You have before you the Honor and Remember flag, which was unveiled on Memorial Day of that year. The symbolism is very simple, yet specific. The red field stands for the sacrifice of blood shed for this nation. American flag red, what better color? The white beneath it, the purity of that sacrifice, because each one of those men and women, our sons, our daughters, our husbands, our wives, our uncles, our brothers, went over with a specific purpose and said to each one of their family and friends, don't worry, we've got it covered. We know what we're doing. I'll be back. The pure heart of that sacrifice. The blue star in the center goes back to World War I, when solid blue stars were hung on the windows and doors of families that had someone in active duty military. The gold star overlays that blue star when that loved one is not coming home. That's where we get that term, Gold Star Mother, Gold Star Father, Gold Star Family. The folded flag beneath those stars represents that flag that was handed to each one of those families at the memorial of their loved one. This country was built on one folded flag at a time. The flames above it, an eternal reminder that we will never forget. And the words below, we will honor their sacrifice and remember them specifically by name. This flag was created to be a national symbol of remembrance, a reminder to all of us every day that lives have been lost in defense of all of our freedoms, and a specific way to show and say thank you. And today we honor specifically by name in a very unique way. And I'm going to turn it over to Rob so that we may honor with you all today specific families as we have done continuously for generations around this country. Before I do that, I would like to explain that the presentation of this flag begins with a tri-folded honor and remember flag. This flag is tri-folded because it mirrors the American flag in the center that was handed to the family at the memorial of their loved ones. But unlike the American flag, which was presented to them folded to be forever encased reverently and respectfully, the honor and remember flag is only folded this way once ever, and then it's opened and displayed proudly forever as that symbol of thanks for our entire nation. And with that, I will turn it over to the Honor and Remember Connecticut Chapter Director, Rob Hecker.
And remember flags to the families of Specialist Andre Craig, United States Army, Specialist Richard C. Emmons III, United States Army, Sergeant Major Philip R. Albert, United States Army, and PFC James Carney, United States Marine Corps. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you Frontier Communications. They're our newest corporate sponsor at Honor and Remember. They're a large corporation headquartered in Stamford, Connecticut, and they're leaders in the business community, especially when it comes to programs to hire veterans and to support veterans. With over 11% of its national workforce having served in the military, they're a shining example of companies that are committed to providing opportunities to those who have committed a part of their lives to serve our country. Here to present our first flag today, Mr. Andy Crane, Senior Vice President and General Counsel, Mr. Alan Gaynor, Vice President, Human Resources, Mr. Jim Otto, Vice President, Talent Acquisition and Development, Mr. Steve Lamb, Leadership Development, and last but not least, Mr. Greg Barrett, Assistant Vice President for Veterans Affairs and the State Captain of the Connecticut Patriot Guard.
Thank you very much, Rob. Appreciate that. On behalf of Frontier Communications, I want to stand here and let you all know that we're all here in awe. And thank you all for all the sacrifices that have gone on for this great nation. I can tell you, I look out and I see I'm very proud to be an American, always have been proud to be an American, and always will be proud to be an American. And as Rob mentioned, we have 11% of our workforce are veterans, and we continue to make strides every day to provide service to the United States, and also every effort that we can to make sure we do everything we can for veterans and their families. Thank you.
Our first flag today is in honor of PFC James Carney. Here to receive the flag is his mother, Mrs. Frances McCann. who is a member of the Gold Star Mothers of America. James was killed in Vietnam in 1969, and it is our honor to be able to present this flag to her today so that she knows that there are people here in Connecticut and in the United States that have not forgotten the sacrifice of her son. He left home, a young man, and never returned. I think she is every day reminded of how much she misses him. And this is an opportunity for us to let her know that people appreciate that sacrifice and will remember that sacrifice.